let's turn to a PGA Tour member in Sam Ryder, who joins us now on Golf Today. Sam, thanks for hopping on the show. As the news filtered in, your first thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was what you're talking about. There was a little bit of shock for me. Nothing, interesting enough. I was on a plane coming from Columbus. I was sitting next to Jason Kokrak, who's been playing a former PGA Tour, been playing LIV Golf. I was sitting next to his caddy, D-Rob, and he showed me a tweet on his phone as I was sitting on the plane. And, I had to read it a couple times. And, a little bit of a shock. And it was new. It was a little like, I wouldn't say blindsided, but I didn't see it coming. So definitely digesting it like everyone else.
Whether you were in the room in Canada or you received the Cliff Notes, Sam, what do you want to hear from Jay Monahan this afternoon?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of questions. I'm not going to Canada, so I won't be at that player meeting today. I'll be talking to some of my buddies and I'll be in tune. But look, for me, I'm not on the PAC, the Player Advisory Council, and I'm not, one of the really the deciding people, one of the ones making decisions. But I'm putting my trust into Jay and the board of the PGA Tour, and like I said, just hoping that they're making the best decision for us as players of the PGA Tour and just for the game of golf. I'm hopeful that it's going to be something that's positive moving forward.
Sam, it seems like the loudest voices carried the most weight on both sides. But when you pull the entirety of PGA Tour membership week to week, when you would talk with guys inside the ropes or at lunch or traveling together, ballpark percentage guys reacting to this news in a positive or negative manner, what would you say?
If I had to guess, I would say that from the PGA Tour locker room, maybe negative right now, but that's without more information. But that's, I think, more of just the feeling that people don't really know. They're not feeling maybe like they're as involved or in the loop. But like I said, we put those people in place to make those decisions, and we have to trust that they're making the best decisions for us and have our best interests in mind. And that's what I believe.
Sam, as a fellow PGA Tour member, what's it been like for you watching Rory McIlroy week after week face these questions about the future of the PGA Tour time after time, sometimes inspiring him, sometimes putting a weight on his shoulders?
Yeah, you see him, Damon, where you see him when he looks enthused and he really wants to compete, and it's like he's, it's given him like invigorated reason to play hard, and there's times where he doesn't want to be in front of the microphone, and I'm really not envious of Rory for having to answer all those questions and be really just like more of a leader and spokesperson for the tour, because there's a lot of responsibility and pressure that comes along with that. He's done a great job, and I mean, it's interesting, and I know he's known a lot more being so involved with these decisions, and I just I'm not jealous of him for having to deal with all those different obligations and having to answer all those questions. And I think he does a good job of it.
Sam, we always hear how the PGA Tour is the Players' Tour. It's your tour. That's the messaging that you guys receive. Yet, in talking with players and what we've heard from the golf world, it seems like the players weren't privy to these conversations to then form this collective entity going forward. How do you square that up internally with what then materialized externally?
Well, I think over the last couple of years, guys have had a better understanding of how policies and changes are made throughout the tour. And it's really easy, I think, to hear something and me as a player to be like, oh, well, did you have my best interest in mind there? But, Jay tries to really be considerate, and the whole board tries to be considerate. And there's different ways for the players to vote on things. And I think it's a good way for guys to get more involved and to learn more. And like I said, I know it sounds like I'm being a dead horse, but this was the PGA Tour has done a great job throughout the last decades, and I'm just trusting that they're going to continue to do that, and hopefully this is going to be something that's good for the game as a whole.
Sam, as a PGA Tour member, did you feel that the tour had been hurt by the departures of Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Reed, etc.?
I can only really talk for myself. I've been just focused on doing the best job that I can do and have the best season I can to set up, my career and move forward. And I think for me, from that perspective, it's been a little bit of out of sight, out of mind. I've just been focused on what's in front of me. I haven't been concerning myself as much with what they're doing. And I wish well all the guys that I have friends that were playing for LIV. So I don't know if it's really been hurt. I feel like, people still love the game. And I think we've had a lot of great supporters and we've had a really good impacts in a lot of the cities that we continue to go to. So I don't feel that way.